Thank you everyone for joining me today. My name is Mark, and I'll be the one conducting this webinar today regarding everything to do with the booking process and FunJet vacations. So get ready, there's going to be a lot of information. Hopefully there's some things that you weren't aware of. So let's go ahead and get started. You guys are familiar with this Book Now button, or Book Now area right over here, right? So we're going to go in there and we're going to make a reservation. We can go over some modifications, just things that might make your life a little bit easier that you may not have known of. So let's go ahead and start. Obviously, you have your package type right here. A couple things to keep in mind. Where you see flight plus hotel plus transfers for Mexico and Caribbean, that just means the transfers have an included cost in the package. So you're not going to be able to remove those ever. It's going to show up as a line item saying included. It'll be the same cost as if you add them on as a feature. It's just if you add them on, it's a little bit easier to actually modify. If your customers are looking to upgrade transfers, maybe you need to remove them because they're going to share a transfer with a different reservation, whatever it may be. So for today, we're just going to go over flight and hotel and the booking process for flight and hotel bookings. So I'm going to select that. You have your departure city. So let's say Houston. If you don't know your airport code, just start typing out the city. It'll populate for you. So in this case, Houston has two airports. We have Houston Hobby and Intercontinental. So for international flights, I recommend going on Intercontinental. Unless they're looking for Southwest flights, then you got to go on Hobby. We're going to go down to Cancun because that is a huge hotspot for Texas, especially in the summer months. One thing to keep in mind is if you start typing out Cancun, you'll see several different airport codes. One shows Cancun hotels, one shows Riviera Maya hotels, one shows both of them. So the differences between those is one's filtering out the other section of that destination. So if I chose just Cancun hotels, it's just pulling the hotels in the Cancun zone. So if you book that and maybe down the road your customers want to change to maybe a Riviera Maya hotel, you're not going to be able to pull those up. So I always recommend choosing just CUN, the general Cancun and Riviera Maya airport code. You're able to get up to 4 rooms and 8 passengers on a reservation. That does include children. If you ever have a customer that is looking to add an infant to their booking and make a reservation with that infant, it gives you that information right here. So I'll give you the easiest version of how to think about this. So an infant is under the age of 2. You can A, have the infant pay just the tax and sit on the lap of an adult, or B, they can pay for a seat. So when you are looking to book an infant, so they are considered a child, so you're going to have to use the drop down for one child. So you have 2 options. You would select IN for an infant, that stands for infant, that'll be a lap child. If you select the age of 1, that's going to purchase them a seat. So on a longer flight, maybe out to Europe or Hawaii, yeah, they might want a seat for the child, but they might not want to pay for that cost. So just keep that in mind. You have that information right here saying where it says booking an infant. You have your departure dates. That is pretty self-explanatory. So let's do April 20th. Let's do 5 nights. If you have a promotion code, this is where you can enter it. And that'll be more important for your next training when you guys talk about groups, because we have a flexible group option where it gives you a promotion code. So when you enter your flexible group promo code, it'll automatically pull that hotel only. I always pre-select the travel protection. So I do that because it's a lot easier to give your customers a quote and then possibly remove that cost from there, because it's a lot easier to remove a price rather than add a price to the reservation. So that's the way I do it. Everyone has their preference. We're going to touch base more with this shop by option right here But essentially what it is, shop by price is your normal default. The way the system works is it matches up classes of service with airlines. It does not pull all the airlines' space though, because if a class of service does not match for the pricing, as far as the lowest price, it's not going to pull. So if you ever are looking for a specific flight and you don't see it, use the shop by schedule option, more flight options pull. So let's go ahead and hit search. Nope, I need to enter child's age, but we're going to remove that child. There we go. So the Book Now area, it's pretty self-explanatory. No matter which website you go to, it's pretty much the same. And throughout today's session, if you guys have any questions, please speak up. I'm leaving the line open so you guys speak up so you don't forget what your question is after we're done. All right, let's get this to pull up. It will pull up your hotel first. So let's wait for this to update, and you'll be able to tell when it updates because you'll see the number of hotels that are pulling in availability. There we go. We have 164 hotels for these dates. Do you guys see that? The left-hand side. I have it highlighted for us. All right. Anytime you want to look at a hotel profile, all you got to do is click on the name. So it will have a kind of a looped picture, and it'll just scroll through those pictures. If you want to scroll through it yourself, there's this arrow button right here, and you can select which one you want. Below are the current promotions that are being offered. If you have any questions on what maybe that promotion includes, you can click on it and it'll expand it for you. So let's take a look at this honeymoon spa credit. So guests celebrating their honeymoon will receive the following amenities. Get a $35 US spa credit in selected couples massages, up to 50 minutes per couple per stay. And in order for that, it is requesting to enter honeymoon into the special service requests, which we will touch base in a little while. And so it gives you all the information that you need. So like this one, marriage certificate must be within 90 days. They'll have to bring proof for that too, and so forth like that. You can click on it again to collapse it. Below are going to be your hotel details. So you might have spring break policies, you might have separate hotel policies. This one currently, just in the profile, shows that there is a $1.60 per room per day government tax, it looks like. Gives you the spring break information right here. You can find additional hotel policies, such as check-in time, check-out time. You can find transportation information, like how far away it is from the airport. Now you have the tabs within the profile. You have specific amenities. You can look at the amenities. You can look at the accommodations. So let's click on the accommodations. So let's look at this Junior Suite Garden View, for instance. It offers a king bed or a option for 2 double beds. It's based off availability. We can put what they're looking for in their special service request. Gives us the occupancy limit, so 3 adults, 2 kids, 4 total. So if, for instance, you have 3 adults in there, you're going to hit the max occupancy, so you're not going to be able to add any kids. And it will give you kind of like the kids stay free policy if they offer one. So in this one, ages 2 through 12 stay free as long as they have 2 adults in the room. So that's the hotel profile. Pretty self-explanatory. You have the option to sort your hotels by clicking this drop down for the sort by. You can sort by preferred, price point, alphabetically, distance closest or furthest from the airport, location, or by rating. I actually like to use the filter on the left-hand side. Have either of you used the filter? Yep. Yeah, it's easy to use. It's fantastic because you're getting rid of things that your customers do not want. So the filter gives you a map of all the hotels. So you can click on it and view where they are compared to one another. It does take a little bit because it has to load it up on an interactive map. If you're looking to filter to a specific hotel, you can just type it in. So let's type in secrets. It's going to pull all the secrets that are available. If you have one in specific you want, you can click on it. It'll take you to there. If you want to remove your filter, highlight it, backspace, hit find again. It'll go back to all your hotels. You have your sliding price scale right here. So if your customers have a budget that they gave you, just move it down to their budget. So let's say we're looking right around $4,000. 4,050 is good enough. So it filtered down a few hotels. Now we're down to 158. You have your ratings. So if they want a 5-star, there's 62 of them. Amenities. If they don't want any kids around, you can go to adults only. So let's click on that. Now it drops it down to 34. And you have different points of interest if you choose to use that as well. So it just filters everything out your customers do not want after you qualify them. So let me remove that filter by just unchecking it. So one thing I kind of want to point out is we have Riu Palace Costa Mujeres, the one currently selected. You'll be able to tell which one's selected because it will say current selection in a blue border. We have Breathless Riviera Cancun right below there. I kind of want to point out two different things because these hotels are a little bit different. So Riu Palace Costa Mujeres, we have our room category, Junior Suite Garden View Room. There's this number 9 right here, which means there are 9 or more rooms available. What this also means is this hotel is inventoried by us, Apple Leisure Group. We maintain the inventory. We're the ones that make any changes to the rates, etc. that the hotel provides us. Below, in this Breathless Riviera, there is no calendar, there is no actual number for inventory. What that means is that hotel loads in their own inventory, they load in their own rates. If a room's not available, or if the hotel doesn't pull, that means the hotel's either A, sold out, or that room category sold out, or they're making changes to inventory and rates. And they might have it loaded back up there within the next couple hours. So I just wanted to point out the kind of differences in the hotels as far as how they pull into inventory. When you are making your reservation, keep in mind for these little colored boxes right here. So this one says Instant OTA Price Match. So an OTA is an online travel agency such as Expedia, Priceline, Travelocity, etc. When you see this Instant OTA Price Match within a hotel, that means we will auto match against one of those online travel agencies. So you don't necessarily need to wait around for the price match team to approve that. Your customers give you that quote from Expedia. As long as everything matches as far as classes of service, dates, occupancy, room category, etc., we'll match it automatically. Say no waiting around. If it does not show this little blue box that says Instant OTA Price Match, that just means you have to submit it, and then our price match team will work with the hotel. We typically will get back to you within 3 business hours. This one down here, it shows waves. So we did change over to a new rewards program within FunJet. It used to be Agent Bonus Cash. It is now called Waves. No matter which product you use within Apple Leisure Group, we have 6 of them. So we have FunJet, Southwest Vacations, United Vacations, Blue Sky Tours, Travel Impressions, and Apple Vacations. You will receive Wave points. And those Wave points, you can accumulate them and then maybe convert it over for discounted travel. You can convert it into a virtual Visa and shop online with it wherever Visa is accepted. Or if you really want, you can convert it to cash. It's a little bit less as far as the conversion is than using a Visa or etc. So this particular hotel offers additional points. So anytime you see that bright green box that says Waves, that means you're earning additional Wave points on top of your initial base Waves points that you would earn. you may see another one called like a red box. It may say upgrade bonus. Well, that would mean just hover over it. It tells you exactly what it is. Let's see if we can find something. Let's just scroll through it. There we go. Iberostar, Ariso, Maya. Upgrade bonus, money available. So if you upgrade your room category, you can get additional commission. No difference in cost to the customers. It just helps you out. So keep in mind those little boxes for you, because those are additional benefits typically for you. All right, let's go back to the top. Have you guys ever noticed where it shows pay monthly? Are you guys familiar with it? All right, so let's click on it. Some people will use it, some people will not. It is actually an option for customers to use a third party called Uplift to pay their entire vacation in full. It gives them 12 months to pay that vacation to Uplift. Uplift pays us. Your documents go out, so you don't have to hound for any payment. You don't have to, if there's any payment issues, you don't have to worry about it. That's the customer and Uplift. If they default, they go to Uplift. If there's a refund, Uplift credits their account. So some of those benefits would be, you can use this up until a couple of days prior to departure. So typically, I think it's a great option, because the fees that you would pay typically are going to be less than typical annual credit card interest rates. No, it's the same cost. It's just when they pay it, they pay a charge. So their reservation total is going to remain the same. It's just when Uplift gives them the information, they may have a $10 fee they do a soft credit check. So depending on that soft credit check, they may pay $3 per payment. They may pay $10. It all depends on that soft credit. Yep. So some of those benefits are, obviously, you can take your vacation and pay down the road afterwards, because our typical payment policy is reservations have to be paid in full at 45 days. So if you have an unexpected wedding, hey, I need to go on. Me and my girlfriend are going to Vegas and getting married in 2 weeks. No one really plans for those types of things, and it could be a lot of money. Well, you can use this option, pay monthly after your trip. We also see an average increase upsell of around 13 to 14%. So customers are more willing to pay for that upgraded room category. Go from a garden view to an oceanfront room. Purchase that swim with the dolphin excursion. Upgrade their transfers. So and that means more money for you guys. You get more commission then. So it's a great little thing to have in your back pocket, I think. And you would just click on where it says pay monthly, and you can go through the information here. Your customers would have to put in all their information. They'll run a little quick soft credit check. So just remember that is there for them. And the nice thing is, you don't have to worry about the payment, because it's already paid for in full once they do it. They'll see that when they enter all that information in. So like here's a little video. If you click on next, here's this information. It'll be basically at your checkout page. So you can actually send them this link if you choose to. Just copy and paste the link and send it over to them. It's just you don't want to do it, because I believe it does ask for their social security number. Yeah. So I think it's a cool option. We really try to push it because it means more money for you guys, because they're going to be more willing to do any upgrades. If you are looking for additional room categories, right next to that hotel name, if there's a plus sign, you just click on that, and it'll drop down any additional rooms available. So let's see if I can find something here. Okay, perfect. So this suite oceanfront shows that it's not available. That doesn't mean we can't try to request it for you guys, though. So if they're looking for a room category and you show that it's not available, give us a call. We'll reach out to the hotel, see if we can get in that room. Never hurts to ask. So for demonstration purposes, let's say they want to go ahead with this Junior Suite Garden View room category. We're just going to go ahead and hit select. And what's going to happen here is it's going to take you now to your airfare. So you can use your filters for your flights if you choose to. You can sort it by your departure times, morning, afternoon, etc. Arrival, number of stops, or specific airline. So let's say we're looking at non-stops. All right, click on non-stops. It's only going to pull up the non-stops. It'll tell you the fare type, whether it's a bulk or a published. So basically what that means, bulk is contracted, scheduled airfare. Published is basically just pulling directly from the airline system. A couple things to mention on that is bulk, you'll actually receive more commission than you would with a published fare. Published fare, a lot of it, you will not receive commission. A bulk fare, you can receive up to 5% on that airfare portion. So just keep in mind, bulk fares could be probably more beneficial for you as the travel agent to make more money. It also can be beneficial for the customers. So a lot of bulk airfare does allow a lower deposit even without travel protection. So off the top of my head, because I know Americans left and right, American offers a $200 per person deposit without travel protection. A published airfare, you would have to pay that airfare up front. It is also a refundable fare. So us at Apple Leisure Group pay that ticket cost. It is refundable to us less the airline penalty of $200. So if your customers have to change, they can. If they have to cancel, they can. They're charged the airline fee plus whatever brand fee. It's a little bit easier than having that airline credit, and then you have to reuse that airline credit within 1 year with that change fee, fall under their conditions from there. Anything that you see highlighted in blue and has an underline, you could click on it and it'll give you the information. Anything that is blue and you see the little dots, that means you hover over it, it tells you the information. So let's go ahead and just hit this 7:25 a.m. flight and hit select. It's going to force us now to select our return flight. I'm just going to select this one just for demonstration purposes. And now from here, we're at our itinerary summary screen. We have the option to add rental cars if you choose to, and now we can add features if they choose to. The way I like to describe features is it's like grocery shopping for your vacation package. You have to go down your aisles, put stuff in your cart, and then go to checkout when you want it. It's exactly the same way with features. You have your filters over here if you choose to. So there's travel protection options, transfers. Looks like there's a show in here, sightseeing tours, and water activities. So, for example, right here we have our transportation to and from. That's a shared transfer. That means they can stop up to 3 hotels. You have upgraded options, so you could do a nonstop or a private transfer. So a nonstop would mean you and maybe other passengers traveling around or arriving around the same time to that hotel would go in that that nonstop transfer. It could be private if there's no one else coming to that property. Private would mean you check in with Amstar, they put you on your transfer and you go. No waiting around for maybe other couples that are arriving 20 minutes later, etc. So it does have its benefits to give the upgraded options. So let's go ahead and look at a water activity. So if you're looking at a specific feature to add, how to add it would be add to cart. And now if you kind of look above, it's on your itinerary summary screen. So let's go ahead and collapse that because I'll show you kind of something in a few minutes. Now from here, you have your pricing stamp over here. It'll tell you your days prior to departure, your base package price. So your base package price would mean your package price your package that you selected. In this case, we selected air and hotel. If it was the air, hotel plus transfers, it'll show that. If it was land only, it would show that. Gives you your adult base price, any options, which are features. Breaks down your travel protection. It does say Secrets of Love right here. That's a secrets only promotion code, so that'll go away eventually. It'll give you your total package price and your per person rate. If you scroll down a little bit more, included taxes and fees, you can click on that to view that information. Terms and conditions are right here if you need it. Baggage charges. Let's go ahead and click on baggage charges. This will make your guys' life a little bit easier. So again, we have this blue and it's underlined. If you click on that, it'll take you to a different site. And on this site, it alphabetizes all the carriers that we offer. And it gives you links directly to their baggage policy page on the airline. So now you don't have to go to United.com, find where their baggage policy is, scroll through it. If you click on the link, it takes you right there. If you have an online check-in link available, it's right in here as well. So you can copy and paste that to your customers if you need to. It's just going to save you a little bit of time. We have our checkout page right here. We'll go over that a little bit later. Booking administration, this is where you can add an agency fee if you choose to. So it's as easy as adding whatever the amount is. So let's say it's 100 and hitting set commission. So you noticed the gross amount for the original amount was $28,1951. The new total after you adjusted your commission is $29,1951. So it went up the $100. The commission went from $282 to $372. That is because anytime you add an additional agency fee, there is a 10% processing fee. So 10% of 100 is $10. If it's 150, it's 15. If it's 500, it'll be 50. If you ever need to remove your agency fee, just put 0.00, hit set commission, and that'll remove it. Now we're going to come up to kind of some of the cooler things that I love in Vax. We all have those situations where your customer may be like, okay, now what if we go a couple weeks earlier or a couple weeks later? Okay, not a problem. So let's say they want to go a couple weeks later. We're going to go back to our search page like we normally would. We're going to put in our new dates. Let's say it's the 11th. And let's hit search. Now, for demonstration purposes of what I want to show you, I'm not actually going to reselect everything. I just kind of want to show you this cool little option. So let's wait for everything to pull. All right, there it is. All right, so you have everything that pulls. Okay, great. So we are under recent searches right now. Your most current itinerary that you have pulled up will be the one that's highlighted in a little bit darker shade. Obviously, if you want to go back to any different searches that you had, you would just click on whatever itinerary it was. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever it is. So instead of just sending your customers an email itinerary of each itinerary, you can actually compare your itineraries. So there's this little compare button right in your recent searches. It's deselected right now, so let's go ahead and select it. All right, so we have itinerary 2. We're going to compare that with itinerary 1. So let's click on compare. You can get up to 3 of them. And let's go ahead and hit compare. Click on it. It will put your itineraries right next to each other side by side. It will tell you your city pairs. It'll tell you your dates. It would go over your hotel, your flight information, room category, any features you have on there. It puts it right next to one another. So from here, right now, you would have to take a snip or a screenshot and send it to your customers. We are going to be working on an email button so you can email this screen to your customers. It's going to make things a lot easier instead of having your customers flip back and forth between their emails. Or you sending emails to yourself, copy and pasting each itinerary into one email. If you want to view your commission, click on View Administrative Information. It'll pull up your commission. To hide it, you just click on Hide. So that's one of my favorite features just because it makes things a little bit more convenient for customers. So in your recent searches as well, you have your saved itinerary right here. So a saved itinerary is saving what you're looking at in VAX. It will save up to 14 days. It is not confirming any space or availability though. So it's just literally saving what you're looking at. And once you save it, you can pull up your saved itineraries. And that's just right at the top of your screen under Retrieve Saved Itinerary. It'll pull up your saved itineraries. You click on it, it'll pull up. If inventory or rates or something's not available, it will tell you in red once you pull it up. So now let's talk about this duplicate button right here. So if you click on duplicate, it will take you back to a search page. This is a great option to where if you want to price out maybe adding a person, adding a room, removing a person, whatever it may be, adding a child, whatever you're looking to do. So once you hit search, what this will do is it will automatically select your components that you originally had on your most recent search. So you don't have to go through and find what hotel you had, click on the plus sign to look for your room category. You don't have to search for your flight option that you had. You don't have to reselect your features that you had on your itinerary. It'll pre-select all that for you. Big time saver. And then from there, you can compare your itineraries if you choose to. So those are two of my favorite things. So I'm going to go back to my first itinerary by clicking on itinerary 1, because we're actually going to go ahead and complete a reservation. We're going to go ahead and go to checkout. All right, so we are at our checkout page. You have the opportunity here to select a different room category if you choose to. Just click on the little radio button there. It'll update for you. So if you start scrolling down, here's kind of some important information on the hotel. So any resort fees, any parking fees, spring break policies, hotel cancel fees are typically going to be put in these hotel advisories. They do print on the documents as well so your customers see them. You have the option to remove or edit your features here. It will ask for you to select a travel protection option. So we pre-selected the Travel Protection Plus, so it's right there. If they don't want it, you can hit decline. So I kind of want to touch base on that real quick. Starting earlier this month, you actually have the capability now to add travel protection after you post a deposit. You have up until 7 days after your deposit, or up until 45 days prior, whichever comes first. So, for example, if your customers are 90 days out, Once you post deposit, you have 7 days to add it. If you're 50 days out, you have 5 days to add it because full payment is due at 45 days. So that used to be something that you would actually have to call into the call center for. Now you're going to be able to do that in Vax. We do have a upcoming enhancement, hopefully that comes out next week, where you're going to be able to select that travel protection for less the amount of people that you have on your itinerary. So that will be an option too. That used to not be an option at all. So now we're scrolling down to our names. You're going to put in your first name, last name, date of birth. Just make up some stuff. Frequent flyer information. I recommend asking for frequent flyer information at time of booking. The reason why is after the booking has been made, that frequent flyer number will not go over to the airline, so it will not allow you to actually add it. It's not a big deal if you have a current reservation that you're looking to add frequent flyer information. You can always just go onto the airline's website and add it. Not a big deal. TSA information here, you do not need to add that for making a reservation. It's not needed at all. They can do it when they check in online. So let's go Traveler 2. Random dates. Same thing, frequent flyer information if they have it. I really want to focus on these itinerary tools down here. We have special service requests. So special service requests are going to be something like a note that you can send over to the hotel, or you want to request double beds instead of a king bed. So if you expand that by clicking on that little arrow right next to hotel requests, you're going to be able to make these selections. Bedroom requests, okay, let's do double beds. Room requests, okay, non-smoking. Special occasion. If your customers are having a special occasion, 99% of the time, they're going to tell you ahead of time. So we would select whatever it is. So remember when we looked at those promotions and it said for that honeymoon spa credit, it said enter honeymoon into the special service request. So I'm going to click on special occasion honeymoon and I'm going to add it as a remark as well. Here is also where you can cross-reference reservations to maybe have your customers be close to one another. And to do that, all you would do is put close to and then the customer's names. So let's do Beck Steve. So that'll go over to the hotel and they're going to know, okay, they're asking us to have the rooms close to a Steve Beck. Okay, great. So that's how you would do that. The reason why I really want to focus on the special service requests is because the different types of hotels is we have hotels that are inventoried by us, hotels that are inventoried via Direct Link. Direct Link hotels, once the reservation's been made, you will not be able to add them because, kind of like the frequent flyer information, it will not go over to that hotel. So if you forget to add it at time of booking, not a big deal. Just give us a call or reach out to the hotel via phone or email us to do that request for you. Add-on requests. You have your add-on requests if you choose to. One common one in here is cross-referencing reservations for the use of private transfers. And all you would have to do is put in reservation XYZ using transfer. The ground reps actually know our reservation numbers, so they'll be able to cross-reference that way. Payment information here. Not going to really touch too much on that, just because it's pretty self-explanatory. The one thing I do want to mention is the easiest way to look at it is splitting it up in two sections. You have your deposit and full payment due dates. It'll tell you your dates and then your amount on the right. Those do not change unless you make changes down the road to the reservation. Then you have your payment information up top. So total amount of payments and your balance due. So on this one, for example, let's say they do the deposit of $400. It'll show $400 in your total amounts of payments. It'll adjust your balance of your total reservation cost, less what you've paid, but it won't show zero here where it says deposit due. So as long as your total amounts of payment meet or exceed your deposit due, you're fine. Alright, so scrolling down below, we have our payment information here. You're able to get up to 10 different payments. I do not recommend doing more than like 2 or 3 at a time. Credit card information here. Okay, great. One thing I want to touch base on is on our Southwest Vacations brand, you are able to use airline travel credits with your deposit. It's the only brand we offer where you can have actual travel funds or airline credits and use it towards payments with your deposit. And to do that, when you are booking a Southwest vacation, it'll be under card type and it'll say travel fund. The reason why I'm mentioning that is otherwise your customers are going to have to go separate. They'll have to take their airfares to the airline. You can do the hotel, or they may actually go elsewhere because if they have to do their air on their own, they might do their hotel on their own. Well, now you can get that booking. You can get that air and hotel package and offer them that lower package rate. So that's something I do like to bring up. Below you have some final payment options as well. One of them does not show up because we don't have credit card information. But when you do have credit card information in there, it will have an automated final payment option for you if you choose it. You put in the date you want it to pay that final amount, and even if you do pay it ahead of time, you're not going to get charged at that date that you selected. So just remember that. Final payment options down here. So you have an email reminder if you want. You can put in a date for that you want that email sent out and where you want that email reminder sent to. Keep in mind with this one is if you pay the reservation in full before that date that the email reminder is sent out, it will still send an email reminder because it's automated. Just disregard it if that's the case. Or you can manually add your payment. You have your terms and conditions here to complete your reservation. So let's go ahead and hit complete. Make sure, hopefully I didn't forget anything during the booking process, but sometimes I do, like gender. Alright, let's wait for that to refresh. Alright, let's go. There we go. So here's our reservation right here. Right up top. So let's talk about these 3 little areas right up here. We're going to quickly go over it. In an unfortunate event, if your customers have to cancel, or maybe they have that Travel Protection Plus, and you went in and reselected your hotel for that lower rate, you can click the refund request right here, fill out this information, and it'll send it over to our accounting department. If you don't remember if you sent one or not, below in your itinerary tools, under history, and your comment history, it'll be the first one that populates. It'll tell you if they received a refund request or not. So if they have not, that means one was not submitted, and just go ahead and click on that little link and submit it over. You are also able to view the last 4 digits of the customer's credit card in VAX as well. That's kind of something new that came out as well. So if you forgot which card option they used, under your history and accounting activity, it will show the last 4 digits of the card. So we don't have any payment on here, so I don't have any payment information here. Price match right here. You click on that, it'll kind of give you some details of what's needed for the price match, and then an email address. They will respond to you within 3 business hours. The one I really want to go over right here is this payment request. If you click right here, this is actually a payment link that you can send to your customers or send to yourself, and then you can forward it. And they actually click on it, put their payment information in. So we all know the young whippersnappers nowadays, they don't want to give out any of their personal information. Okay, well, you can send this over to them, pulls up their reservation into the payment area only, and they can apply the payment, and you'll get notified after that if they do. The nice thing about that is, well, here's an example. Today is Friday. Let's say your office closes at 5 o'clock. You make your reservation at 4:45, and now your customers say, hey, I'll get back to you in a couple hours. Well, maybe you're not going to be in the office in a couple hours. You can send them this payment link. They can go on there and pay it themselves. It's good for 24 hours. It's a one-time use. So if they click on that link and then decide, well, let's give it another hour, they won't be able to pull it back up. So you'll have to send them a new one. So it's just a convenience option. So I just kind of wanted to mention that. All right. So we made a reservation. Are you guys good and comfortable with making a basic itinerary? Awesome. So that's probably the longest portion of this. So let's go ahead and talk about our retrieve reservation options. So under retrieve reservations, you obviously are able to retrieve by a reservation number. That's the easiest way. You also have options to search right over here by customers' names, first and last name, by booking date. So maybe you forgot to write down the reservation number and you don't remember the customer's last name. Well, you can search by booking date. If you remember, oh, I booked something yesterday. Well, you can look by the reservations you made yesterday. Minimum departure dates and maximum departure dates. Well, you can search by origin or destination. Promo code. It's a great option if you have one of those flexible group promo codes. You can put that in, search all those reservations that have that code. If you have admin access, you can search by your agents. Booking status, active or canceled. So let's say I don't remember my reservation number that I just created. Well, I'm just going to click on minimum booking date of today, maximum of today, and hit search. Alright, so below it will pull all the reservations that you've made today. So I haven't been real busy, I only made one today. So it tells you your reservation number, and you can click on that to get to your reservation number. Your passengers, your booking dates, departure dates, origin, destination, payment information. If there's a promotion code attached, it'll tell you right here, status, and the agent name who booked it. So if you click on where it says export to Excel, let's do that real quick. It's a pretty cool little feature. I think it's got a couple good functions in there to make things a little bit easier. So let's click on it. I use Chrome, so it opens up in Excel and it does it at the bottom. Alright, so it moved over to a different screen. Let's move that over here. So it'll give you all your reservation numbers. And from here, what you can do is the ones I really like is you scroll over a little bit more. It gives you more detailed information, such as your hotel or your payment due date. So you can actually use a drop down and filter to your payment due dates rather than one at a time. Gives you your commission. So if you have multiple reservations with commission, you can just highlight everything and get the sum. It's great for the end of the year. What did I make this year? There you go. So a little bit more options to actually use for a filter in that export to Excel. All right. So now we're going to talk about more of the advanced search options. So have either of you ever had a customer that came to you and said, well, I need airfare for 7 nights, but I only need a hotel for 4? Oh, well, you're going to get it. It is a very common question. So you're going to be able to do that in your advanced search page. So let's go ahead and click on our advanced search page. So in your Book Now area, if you scroll down a little bit under your search, it'll say Advanced Search. So let's click on that. You have your departure city and your destination. So let's say they're going to go out to Jamaica. You have your depart date and return date. So that's going to be the time that you want. So let's say they want to go April 6th, 7 nights. And again, you get 4 rooms, 8 passengers on your reservation. You have your filters down below here. So you have your flight information. Under your shop by price, you can use these filters to filter out what you want. I'm going to show you the shop by schedule. Click on shop by schedule, gives you your filters here as well. Let's click on the hotel one. You can search by a specific hotel name. One thing I will point out, I don't recommend doing that because if you're looking for a specific hotel and it's not available, it'll just give you an error message and you won't even get to the next page with all the inventory. So use your filters within your reservation search to filter for your hotel. So below is your calendars for your check-in date and check-out date. This is going to be where you're going to be able to offset your hotel. Saying, hey, you know what? I have a hotel voucher that I booked directly with the hotel for 3 nights, so I only need the hotel for the last 4 nights. Okay, we'll just adjust it. Click on your calendar, click on your new date. And now we're going to go ahead and search. So this is actually a pretty common thing. When I did phone monitors for my previous team, I would hear it all the time. Alright, so let's wait for this to pull up. There we go. So this screen's going to look a little bit different. So it's going to have you select your flights first. And even the flight selection looks a little bit different. So that's kind of why I wanted to touch base on this screen. So you have some filters on your left-hand side. Also up here, if you click on carrier name, it'll alphabetize your carriers. If you click on departs, it'll sort it by the earliest departure. If you click on arrives, it'll sort by the earliest arrival. Or stops layover, if you click on that, it'll be the least number of stops or layovers. So I don't have any non-stops right here. It's only one. So you can select this radio button right here if you choose to for the best pricing. I just want to show you what the view class looks like. So if you click on that plus sign, it'll show you your class as a service. It will read like a book, top to bottom, left to right. So most expensive, down to the least expensive. A couple reasons to use this option would be if you're looking to do a price match, because classes of service are required. This is an easy way to make sure that you have the correct class of service. Another reason to use this is sometimes, and I've seen this in the past, where customers have their frequent flyer points and they want to use their points to maybe upgrade to a different cabin. So you would book them in your coach, but they have to be in a specific class of service. And they'll tell you if that is needed. So those customers are pretty savvy, so they know exactly what's needed, so they'll tell you. So you would just go in and select the class of service that you want. So let's take a look at V as in Victor. Click on the button for your flights. Now you select your return flight. Let's just choose this one. Same thing. Select your class of service that you want. Let's do V as in Victor again. And so from here, you're going to price your flights. So it's price selected flights are clear. So I always do price. All right, so let's wait for that to pull up. Just waiting. There we go. So one thing to keep in mind is this automatically went to our next screen. If there were different fare options, such as a bulk available on these flights, it will pull up bulk and publish, and it gives you the opportunity to choose which one. It'll give you a price point, so you can choose one over the other. So this is how it will look. You have your flights up here with your dates. So this one's the 6th through the 13th on your flights. All right, so then you have hotel below. This one's the 9th through the 13th. So they're offset. And also, if you forget maybe to do that at your initial search page, it's not a problem. I'll show you real quick how to do that. If you click on your hotels, and then right underneath your hotel's filters. So let's wait for everything. All right, well, only one's pulling up right now, so something might be going on with inventory, but either way, I can still show you. You have additional search items. You have your check-in date, checkout date. You can select your dates in here to offset it. Or if you want to change it back, you can go ahead and change it back and hit search. What that does is it will automatically adjust your hotel dates for your hotels only. So don't be discouraged if you forget it. If you forget it at the initial search page. So that is the advanced search page and kind of some of those options in there. Now we're going to talk about multiple destinations. So multiple destinations is probably one of the more difficult options in Maps to do. So we're going to go over it, and I'm going to give you my take on the easiest way to look at it to make it as painless as possible. So on your main FunJet Vacations page, under your book now, you have multiple destinations right here. So we're going to select that. You have your destination region here. So today what we're going to do is just Air Hotel. We're going to go out to Hawaii. You have your number of rooms, adults, etc. So you have your departure city. So let's go Houston again. All right, I'm going to select my travel protection ahead of time. Destination 1, so that's your first stop. Let's select some different rates, or not rates, dates. And your first destination. So if you do not know the airport code again, just start typing it in. So for Hawaii, if you start typing in Hawaii, it'll give you all the Hawaii airport codes. So let's do Honolulu first. It'll give you the number of nights that you want. So I'm just going to keep it at 3, but you can do 4, 5, 6, 7. Because we chose flight and hotel, it doesn't give us an option to deselect the flight that's over the water. You, however, can choose your other components. So if they don't need the hotel, you deselect it. If you do not need a rental car, you can deselect it. But for purposes, I'm going to use hotel. You have your hotel filters here. So you selected what you need for destination 1. Now we're going to select what we need for destination 2. So let's say we're going to Maui. So Maui's airport code is OGG. So let's wait for that to pull. There we go. Let's do, let's say 5 nights. And now from here, here's the easiest way to look at this. Because you can get up to multiple destinations, 3, 4, 5, 6. It could be kind of overwhelming to be like, okay, I got 6 destinations. What do I all need? Look at it from basically point to point, or one destination to the next destination. So in this case, we are looking at it this way. Well, destination 1 is Honolulu. Destination 2 is Maui. How are we going to get to Maui from destination 1? Do I need a flight, yes or no? Well, I'm pretty sure they're going to need a flight because I don't think they have any bridges. So you're going to keep that selected. Okay, well, now we're in Maui, so we got from point A to point B. Do I need a hotel, yes or no? Select your options. Rental car. Yes or no? So one of the cool things also in a multiple destination page, under your return flight, you can change your return city. So if they need to return back to Little Rock, Arkansas, you can put that in there. So you just delete it and then put it in there. So I don't remember there it is, LIT. So if I want to go back to Little Rock, just right there. If you need to add a destination, you can click on Add Additional Destination. So now from here, I'm going to keep it to Little Rock. Now we're going to go ahead and hit search. And we'll show you how this looks. And again, this page will look a little bit different than your normal single stop. Just the way the flow is. Alright, so let's wait on that. Alright, so you select your flights, etc. So let's just collapse that so you can kind of see what this looks like. So you have your flights. So you have your flight from Houston down to Honolulu. Then we have our flight from Honolulu to Maui. You can remove that if you choose to. On multi-stop, you're able to remove your kind of inter-island, inter-country flights. Then it'll give you a return flight. Just keep in mind during your search, if you see a time in red, that means it's a next day arrival. So now you have your destination 1, you have your hotel and your features, because that's what we chose for that destination. Destination 2, we chose hotel, car rental, and it'll give you your features. Now you can go in there and change over to what you need in each destination. So that's how the multi-stop layout looks. So, do you guys have any questions on how to build a multi-stop? Cool. So, are you guys big on cruises? Do you guys book cruises? Do you guys get those customers that ask for a pre and a post? Okay. Well, did you know you can do that in Max? You can do that right in Vex. So now you don't have to go separate to book your flights, book that pre-night stay. So now you're going to be able to do that, get that booking, you're going to get your commission on it, and then you can offer them that additional benefit, so that Travel Protection Plus, because we all know cruises never go all the time. They cancel. So I'm going to show you how to do a pre and a post cruise. And it's pretty simple. It's in your multiple destinations. And here's the way to kind of look at it. Okay, so we have our flights that we need. We have a pre-stay and a post-stay. Okay. So let me ask you, how many destinations do you guys think we need? There you go. Perfect. So let's go ahead and just create one real quick. So I'm just going to use Hawaii as a option, because I know they have I think they have the port in Honolulu. So we're going to use Houston again. We're going to keep our dates. But because we need 3 destinations, we have to hit Add Destination. So I can add destination before, right here, or click on Additional Destination here. I'm going to use the Add Additional Destination. So it's actually very simple when you think about it. And once this updates, we'll go ahead and we'll show you. Okay, so obviously you have your departure city and destination 1. So this is destination 1's could be their pre-stay. So you have your hotel that you need. You select the amount of nights that they want for their pre-stay. Some people want a vacation before their cruise. So for purposes, I'm going to use 1. Destination 2 is going to be what they're on their cruise for. So let's say they're on a cruise for 10 nights. So it doesn't necessarily matter where you're going to put in for your destination on destination 2. So you can put in Honolulu again, you can put in Los Angeles, you can put in Maui. It really won't matter. And you'll see the reason why. So let's just stick it with Maui. So their cruise is 10 nights. You're going to select your length of your stay on your cruise. And what you're going to do is just deselect everything. So you're not going to need a flight because you're going to be taking that cruise from the port. You do not need a hotel because you're on the cruise ship. And a rental car, unless they have a racetrack on the water, you don't need it. Then destination 3 will be your post. So you're going to put in your post destination. So if it's Honolulu, HNO. And yes, the transfers to the hotels to the port actually are in there. That's a big question. You're going to select your number of nights they want to stay for the post-cruise option. So if it's 1, you're going to select 1. And now from here, remember, we have destination 2, they're on their cruise. What do we need in destination 3? Do they need a flight to go from their cruise to their post stay? No, they don't. Hotel, yes or no, keep it. Rental car, yes or no, keep it. And again, you can change your return city if you choose to. And now you hit search. And we'll show you how that looks. And wait, whenever you do the advanced search page or a multi-stop, it does take a little bit longer because it's pulling a lot more inventory. It's not that, it's just taking a nap on us. Could be, but you never know. I have a quick answer. Maybe. So if you don't have any money on there, you can always go in there and add it. That's not a problem. So with the new enhancement that came out on 12.2, once you apply deposit, you have up until 7 days after that deposit has been paid to where you can actually go in there and add it to the booking. So that is something new that you can do on Vax. FunJet has always had that rule for 6-7 years. It's just it was never able to have you guys, the travel agents, add that. It would always give you an error because you already had payment on it. So then you would have to give us a call to add it and so forth. Exactly. Oh, my pleasure. See, it was a quick answer. Yay! So this is how your itinerary will look for your pre and post cruise. You have your flights. It's right here. You have destination 1. So we have that for our 1 night. Destination 2, you notice, is just blank. There's nothing there. And then we have our post and destination 3. Now from here, you can select your options that you want in destinations for your pre and for your post. That's how that will look. Very simple. So now we're going to talk about kind of an open jaw. So that's where flying from one city, you take your trip, fly back to another. So we kind of showed you how to do that in the multiple destination option. But because that's 2 stops minimum, what happens if they only want 1 stop? Well, I'm going to show you how to do that, and it would still be in the multiple destination function, but I'll show you how to do that real quick. So I'm just going to kind of redo my search. Go back down to multiple destinations. All right, so you're going to select whatever region you want. So let's do Nashville to Dominican Republic in March for 7 nights. Okay. So now you have destination 2, but you don't need 2 destinations because they aren't going anywhere else. Now they just want to fly back to Philadelphia, let's say. Well, in order to do this, just put in under destination 2 your same destination as destination 1. So Punta Cana in this case. And what you're going to do for the number of nights is select 0, so it's a dummy stop. So what we like to call is a dummy stop. Deselect all your components in destination 2. So you don't need a hotel, you don't need a rental car. Well, now you have that option because technically you have quote unquote 2 destinations. You can change your return city. So if we're going back to Philadelphia, I'm going to remove my original return flight, put in my new return city. Now you would hit search and select your components as you normally would. So a lot of people know that you are able to do those open jaws or in one city out the other on the multiple destination function, but not many people know how to do it when they only need one destination. So that's how you would do that, is just under destination 2. Same destination as the first one, just deselect all your options. So that is actually a very common thing now too, where people will need to go back to a different city. So that is an open jaw reservation. So that is what I have for you guys today. Do you guys have any questions or anything else that you would like me to go over? That's perfectly fine. This is your guys' meeting, so whatever you need. Mm-hmm. Yep. So when your customers click on that payment link, if they get out of that payment link and X out of there before they make that payment, they won't be able to re-pull it up. It's a one-time use link. So if they do that, just email them another link. You sure can. Yep, those whippersnappers nowadays, they don't want to give any money away. They're afraid of giving out their personal information. Yeah, I do too. I mean, I personally don't care, because what are you going to take from me? Nothing. Just don't touch my dog. No getting the dog. Then we have problems. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of convenience things in here. Vax is actually very easy to use. There's just a lot of bells and whistles in there that many people may not know that are in there. So we also have a bunch of enhancements coming up. So next month, fingers are crossed, probably our 2 biggest enhancements. So one is a multi-origin reservation. So people coming from different cities. That will be something you guys could be able to book in Vax. Yep. So it would be your sister from Vermont, you from the Carolinas, sharing the same hotel. So that is something new that's going on, and we're extremely excited about it. It's probably our biggest enhancement that we've ever done. The other one that is really close and in testing is adding airfare to a land-only reservation. So you'd be able to do that on your own. So currently, for both of those options, you'd have to give us a call. And during peak season, well, that could be 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes. And so now that's going to be something you can do in VAX. And once you're done with that, you can get on to your next customer and be more efficient. So you will probably see how to add airfare to a hotel on your next training. So Anthony does the next groups training. And that functionality is available with groups currently. When it comes out for FIT reservations, it's going to look a little bit different, and the groups one will too. So they're basically recreating that function to mirror both. So you'll probably see that option next training with Anthony when you guys do groups, the two different types of groups in the groups dashboard. So it's a really cool feature. Makes things a lot easier for you guys. So we hear the travel agent community of what they want. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get to it, but with this merger, we're really trying to make everybody happy and try to get as much things as have been requested for. Could be for a year, could have been, hey, we've been wanting this for 5 years. So we're working on it. So we hear you guys, and we're really excited about the upcoming year for the new VAX enhancements. So keep an eye out for that. There will probably be a training on a webinar in the upcoming months. Well, probably within the next month of those functions. So when I send out the link for this video, I will include our education page. So that education page, you'll be able to click on a calendar for our webinars, or kind of like a self-help library. So actually, I'll show you that real quick. It's on your main VAX page. So they don't let us have it on our main page yet. So if you go under suppliers and vacation packages and click literally on vacation packages, it'll take you to the vacation package suppliers, and it would be Apple Leisure Group. If you click on Apple Leisure Group, here's all the information about our 6 brands. But under education is where you're going to find everything. So you have a calendar of learning events. So this is where any upcoming webinars would be. So it could be on modifications, it could be on groups, it could be on whatever it may be. You would just register, log on if you choose to. Our self-help library. I want to point this out because it's actually an award-winning page. If you ever have any questions on how to do something in VAX, if you forget about it or I don't remember it, you can go in here and it'll tell you. So let's say you forget how to compare your itinerary or send over that payment link. So under building itinerary, all right, client self-payment option, okay. If you click on that, it gives you a quick little video or step-by-step document instructions. So it gives you those options, so you don't have to go through like an entire video about making a booking to get a 1-minute piece. So you can split that up in here and find what you need. So it's a really cool page, makes things a lot easier. It'll save you a lot of time on hold if you ever forget something. So I always include this page when I send out my link for the video. All right. So that's what I got for you guys today. It was my pleasure. If you guys need anything, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help out with whatever you guys need. And then from here, basically what's going to happen is Anthony will be reaching out and setting up the next webinar for everybody. So just keep an eye out for that. But I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day. I know it was a long one. I really appreciate you guys and appreciate your support. My pleasures. You're welcome. Well, you two have a wonderful evening, and if I don't talk to you, happy holidays in a couple weeks. I will. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.